I'm Grandpa of Dog Buses. This is Kiara. Hopefully she's not too distracting. Today I'm going to show you the differences between AGM and lithium. So when building your off-grid system, there's going to be a time where you're going to have to choose your battery bank, and there are a ton of options. You can go with lead acid wet cell, lead acid sealed, or AGM. Lithium, you can go with name brand, off-brand, you can go with an all-in-one system. Ton of options. Today I'm going to discuss the differences and similarities between a Renogy AGM battery and a EG4 lithium battery. These are two really common batteries I see installed, and I'll say right off the bat, knee-jerk reaction on a lot of people is, well, I like lithium, but it's too expensive, so I'm going to go with AGM for now and maybe upgrade later. And while that may have been an okay thing to say a few years ago, nowadays might not be so true. Even though the sticker price of one of these guys is $1,600, they're always on sale for $1,300, so I'll just say $1,300 versus the $355. Yeah, this seems to be a lot cheaper. However, this one battery equates to the storage of 4 of these. And that might not be something you readily notice, because this has 200 amp hours at 12 volts and this has 400 amp hours at 12 volts. But you can only discharge this to about 50% of capacity while, properly maintaining it and getting the entire lifespan out of it. You can't discharge AGM all the way down to 0, where you can discharge lithium all the way down to 0. So you need 4 of these to get almost the same amount usable power as one of these. 4 of these gives you 9,600 watt hours, 4,800 usable watt hours of storage. This one battery gives you 5,120 watt hours usable storage. And you don't have to worry about over discharging it and damaging it. Whereas this, if you do accidentally run it low, you are greatly depreciating the lifespan. So when you multiply 355 by 4, you're actually sitting at $1,420 for these AGMs, to get the same amount, apples to apples, as the lithium. And $1,420 is greater than $1,300. On top of that, you have to get an external BMS for the Renogy AGMs, which is going to be another about $100 to tell what your battery level is. That's a bummer. Now you're at $1,520 for the same thing as this one lithium battery. Yeah, so you can't say it's cheaper to go AGM anymore. It's actually cheaper to go lithium. And I can't say enough how huge it is that these guys now communicate with Victron, because now this BMS will directly tell you exactly what the capacity is. Whereas this guy, you're going to be pairing with an external BMS. It's not closed loop communication, so kind of getting a rough ballpark of what the level is, even if you're using a shunt. Then on top of that, there's the issue of weight. So most people realize that lithium is lighter than AGM. However, I don't think people realize how much lighter. And I say this because I have carried so many of these, and I've asked for help carrying so many of these batteries. These AGMs, this is a 12 volt, 200 amp hour battery, is 127 pounds. That's flippin' heavy. Not to mention you need 4 of them to equate to one of these. So now you're looking at 127 times 4 is about 510 pounds. That's a lot of weight in batteries. This EG4 lithium battery, 99 pounds. This guy is doable for me to move around. This one gets me really cranky if I have to move it by myself. And then I go get a dolly because that's more reasonable. Yeah, so you're looking at 500 pounds more expensive, or 100 pounds cheaper. Seems pretty obvious to me from there. Now there are 2 pros for AGM or lead acid over the lithium, and that's the ability to charge the battery at cold temperatures. You can charge these guys from -4 all the way up to 140 degrees, whereas this wants to be charged at 32 degrees Fahrenheit up to 113 degrees. So it has to be in a more climate controlled environment. And if you're going to have a bus that you're storing, or an off-grid home that you're storing with dead batteries in the cold, you're going to need something that you can charge in the cold, or you're going to have a heating method that doesn't require your batteries. So that's a pro. And then also, if you have 4 of these batteries to equal one of these, you have a greater continuous amp rating, because each one of these has a continuous amp output of 60. And then you put 4 of those in parallel, you get 60 times 4 is 240 amp continuous output rating. Whereas the single lithium EG4 battery has a continuous amp output of 100, which, you know, is less than 240. So if you're trying to run something like air conditioning, you really kind of want to stack two of these together in order to have that continuous output. And while that seems like a pretty big pro for the Renogy, I'll say that if you're going to be running off-grid air conditioning, you want two of these anyway, because you want more like 10,000 kilowatts of storage, vice 5,000. And so then you're running with two of these regardless, because you want that capacity. And then over here, you'd be running 8 vice 4 to get the same amount. And if you're running 8 of these batteries, you're sitting at about 1,000 pounds of weight. And it's also about $3,000 in batteries in a BMS. Compare that over here, you're at 2,600 bucks and 200 pounds. That makes it a pretty obvious decision in my mind if you're going to be using a substantial amount of power and want that continuous amp output rating, and you want to actually be off grid through the night when you don't have sunlight. Yeah, so those are kind of all the things that weigh into my mind when deciding. I look at price, I look at the weight of it, especially if you're building in a trailer where you have to build a lighter system. I look at the components I need to pair with it. Another thing to consider that seems kind of trivial, but is definitely important, is form factor. And now Renogy did do a pretty good job of this, but a lot of batteries have like weird shapes or bump outs that makes them to where they don't really stack up next to each other and you have to get extra space. So you're getting less bang for your buck in terms of space. This is mostly square with just the bump outs of the handles. This EG4 battery is like my dream come true with form factors. It is perfectly square. You just stack the batteries right next to each other, and their new model doesn't even have, their old model had these screws on the top face that like came just above flush of the metal, and it was really frustrating for me because I always put like a piece of foam in between. But now they are perfectly flat, and the only bump outs are for the handles, which are actually for the racking system to mount them. So if you use one of their racking systems, you can use these to mount them in, or if you're making a structure out of wood or whatever you're doing, you can use these ears to mount. They have the handles on them, or you can take them off. Super cool. Love the form factor, and for them being a 100-pound item, having the handles like this makes them pretty easy or relatively easy to move around. Yeah, love this form factor, and you can install these in upright, horizontal. These AGM batteries actually say that they prefer to be mounted as such, that they can be mounted on their side in extreme situations for a reason, but they prefer to be mounted this way, definitely not upside down. So that's something to think about. Yeah, that's kind of wild with where we're at now. It's actually more affordable to go lithium and get all of those extra benefits of a battery like this, vice going AGM. These really kind of are limited for where their best use is nowadays. And if you're building an off-grid tiny home that you actually want to use off-grid and have some real storage capacity, I go lithium. That being said, I'm going to quick breeze through some other options, and people are going to say like, well, hey, what about an what about an off-brand lithium battery that I can get for even cheaper? Well, you miss out on some like really cool things about the EG4s, which one of them is you get a 10-year warranty. That's sick. And I'll say that Renogy does give a warranty as well. It's only 2 years. That's still something, rather than a lot of these off-brand batteries don't have a warranty at all. However, you see one in my hand, I have one, and I do see a good use for them, and that is, this is the cheapest lithium battery I could find. It's 8 amp hours, and I can pull this into a rig, test some lights, I can test new electrical things, I can use this to power lights for a quick second, or demonstrate the use of, I don't know, different components. This is really handy for me to have as a builder. I like it, I use it, and it being off-brand is just fine with me because it was like less than 30 bucks and I don't have to worry about it breaking, so I'll just buy a new one. Definitely a use for off-brand things. There's also the option of like all-in-one battery inverter chargers. You can use these when car camping, when tent camping, or going somewhere where you just want to be able to take a whole portable device and use it and not have to wire things up, not have to kind of like make a system that's permanent. Definitely a use for these. They make ones with wheels and handles now. They're super portable, and they have lithium batteries inside of them, so they're lighter weight. You're not hauling around like a 200-pound thing, which some of them are bigger, but yeah, you have options to have a lightweight all-in-one system. Definitely a use for that. I wouldn't say that use extends to like buses or anything permanent because, you know, they make something more suited for that. And you can get something with a phenomenal form factor that is square to install into your bus. Yeah, so I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible, but if you watch any of my other videos, you know that I have been installing the EG4s in all my recent builds. I used to install AGMs, but with today's day and age and technology, there's no reason to not go lithium, which is awesome because that's the best option to install in a rig, and it's always fun installing the latest and greatest. Yeah, go ahead and use my link below if you're gonna purchase any. I would greatly appreciate it, and they are running a sale right now, as always. They're always trying to give the best deals on Signature Solar, so bang for your buck. I love these batteries. Form factor, price, use. It's hard to argue with it. And I usually install the 24-volt options because if you're gonna be doing a system that's off-grid air conditioning, as I've stated before, you need the capacity and you need the continuous amp output. So I usually install about 3 of them, 4 if you really wanna have a good reserve. And yeah, love them. So I'm usually using the 24-volt. It's a great option for those kinds of systems because they make a lot of components for 24-volt, smaller wire gauge. And really, if you're building that big of a system, there's not much reason to go 12-volt unless you have a specific case where maybe you're doing a retrofit or for some other reason that really makes sense for you. I did just install my first 12-volt EG4 battery, and I'm super pumped about it because it's in my Mitsubishi Delica camper, which is a super tiny rig. It's 16-foot bumper to bumper, 18-foot if you include the brush guard and the mini split condenser on the back. Super cute rig. I absolutely adore it if you can't tell by a smile on my face. And with the one EG4 battery, it runs that mini split, no problem. It is a super small mini split from Japan, so kind of different than what you'll typically see here. It did great, fit right into the bench, and I'm probably gonna add a second one and beef up the solar panels, and you'll see that in future videos because I'm absolutely stoked on it, and it is the perfect mountain rig for me. On top of that 12-volt version, I installed my first 48 volts, or rather, I placed my first 48-volt EG4 batteries, and that's in an Airstream that I'm working on currently. This Airstream is the beefiest solar system that I have designed to date. The owner of it is going to be running full off-grid with a really neat system using a lot of power, and 48-volt gave me the ability to have a 10,000 watt inverter, which is just ginormous. And you'll say, oh my gosh, why do you need that much power? Once you see this rig, you'll understand why, and I think you'll like it. So hang out, subscribe to the channel if you want to see either of those. And if you have more questions on batteries, maybe one you see here, maybe one you don't see, let me know in the comments below, send me an email, schedule a consult, and also let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. If you want to know more informational things or maybe more fun things, more work related, time lapses of builds. Man, I love making time lapses. They're so satisfying. That's all I got. Thanks for tuning in.
Are you going to use the anchor as one of your and this is also a battery.
I haven't fully encompassed what I'm gonna do.
Do you need help?